Live from the land of the ice and snow, where the midnight sun, from the midnight sun, where the hot springs flow.
Can't believe
It's
he
the
went
Geek
this
Show.
rush.
No, he went with Zepp.
That
Because
was a joke for one person.
September for Ed Brass.
For Ed Brass, because it is September.
And I messed it up.
Oh, you did good. You tried.
Oh, Tony.
Go ahead. Let's start. Happy September, everybody.
September, baby.
It's not like he, misidentified Led Zeppelin as Rush or something. That's the true loser.
Guys, I've never seen Led Zeppelin.
Who's this Marvel artist
Oh, I like that.
on my mug? Who is
I
it?
like that.
Is
I
it-
don't know. Who
Is
that?
it Neil Peart?
It might be Denny
It's,
O'Neil.
it's
Not
Scott
Bert,
Stapp,
Peart.
Tony. I don't know how to make you believe this anymore.
whatever.
It's Scott Stapp.
Whatever.
Sorry.
If I were to say what I said about Scott Stapp before we went live, we'd get demonetized.
You guys, you're walking right into a conversation right in the middle of it, and I'm terribly sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
He can't tell his Rush from his Led Zeppelin. He's Quad T.
What?
Oh, no,
I
you-
said I was right. It was Lee.
That was Lee. Yeah.
I know my Led Zeppelin.
You do,
Ed,
of course
Ed,
you do.
forgive
Name-
don't listen to him,
Name
Ed.
3 songs.
Oh, let's see. Immigrant Song, Black Dog, and When the Levee Breaks. How about that?
There's a lot
Wow.
of focus on culture.
Okay.
Are those your 3 favorite songs, or do you have strong opinions about Hurricane Katrina?
When the levee
that a-
breaks.
George
Is that-
Bush
is that-
doesn't care.
Is Hurricane Katrina a Zeppelin song?
No.
I'm on
should
to
be.
you, Tony.
It's B-side.
What? What?
He's on to Tony. He's the master of ships. Jay Whitaker has joined us.
Hey, what's up? Good morning.
How are you, Jay?
I'm
Name
good,
3
man.
ships.
Hey,
Name
come
3
to Wise
ships.
Guys. Yeah, come to
Sloop,
Wise Guys September
Junk.
27th and 28th. There, and if you're in the state of Utah, come see me do jokes. It'll
and
be
he'll
good.
name 3 ships.
I can name 3 ships. What kind of ship?
I,
3 types.
The
A friendship.
Titanics, the Titanics, the Queen Marys, and then Margaritaville at Sea, the MSC Magnifica, the Icon of the Sea from Royal Caribbean.
Okay, that's enough.
Proved your point, Jay.
I'm the master of ships.
he's building his own ship. He's Lee George Cade, everybody.
I'm going to build a sloop.
You're going to name it John B?
Name 3
Yeah.
sloops.
Well, the Maddie
John B.
Gan. 3 sloops. Well, that's also a slur, so I'm not going to go there. It's not really. I have a hot take. Karen O and Trent Reznor's Immigrant Song is better than the original.
Really? Well,
Them's bold words, sir.
That's a
Only
bold.
because Karen O hits the notes just a little higher.
could be. Yeah.
I mean, they're both amazing. They're both really good songs to tenderize meat to.
Huh? Oh,
Rebecca wants you to name 3 steaks.
Yeah.
Rebecca Frost, everybody.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't name 3 of anything. Don't ask.
Really?
you can name 3 Marvels.
Oh gosh.
Captain Miss.
The Great Pyramids of Giza.
That's a
There she
marvel.
goes.
Yep.
There she goes.
The Hanging Gardens.
Those are wonders. Those are wonders, not marvels.
Atlantis.
You made this so harder than it needed to be. Like, I can't
And that last one's not real.
And The Hanging Garden is a Cure song. Robert Neal has joined us.
Good morning, everybody. 777-9311
Oh,
for
there you go.
Jay and Dr. Wyatt.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I like
There you
that.
go.
And our host, Carrie Jackson.
Name 3 hosts.
Yo,
Okay.
I'll tell you, the aliens when they take over our body,
Uh-huh.
we're hosts.
The Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's no
Body
host
Sna-
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That one book
Carrie
by
Jackson.
Stephanie Meyer.
and then Carrie Jackson.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
There's 3 of them.
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com. All right. I'm glad I'm back, you guys. It's good to see you all.
I was
Glad you're back too.
get your vitamin D.
I did get my vitamin D. We're going to talk about that coming up. I'm going to show you the one thing that I bought in Disneyland. My plan was to buy a ton of shit, and I didn't. I bought
Is
one
vitamin D vitamin Disneyland?
Yes.
It is in this case.
In
Yeah.
this case,
Yeah, I
In
needed it to get my smile back. So
In 1992, on a Friday afternoon, I got a phone call from Carrie. He said, "I need my vitamin D. Get ready. I'll be pulling up in 20 minutes."
Damn.
And thus began the most rambunctious and spontaneous road trip of my life.
it was wonderful. Loved
Friendship
it.
is cool.
friendship is magic.
It is.
My Little Pony said.
All right, let's begin with the news. I love the headline on this from IO9. Yikes, the Borderlands movie is already coming home.
Yep. 3 weeks after it came out, baby, you can rent
Yeah,
it
buddy.
on Prime.
You know, and we were saying nice things about video game adaptations, but we knew this one was going to suck.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
obvious.
it was plagued from the beginning.
I didn't even bother to go see it.
I would have
Yeah,
gone the
I wouldn't.
arcane treatment with this, animate this bastard
Yes.
in the art style of the video game, which is already
Yeah.
a really cool looking cartoon.
You know, the people who do the What If cartoons, that style of animation
That would have been cool,
even
too.
work.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should watch
This did
Arcane
need to be a
sometime,
live
Carrie.
action.
Also, maybe if it was like 2013, I think that
Yeah.
might have made a difference.
Or
Well,
maybe
like-
if they found somebody with talent to direct it.
Boom. Roasted.
Oh, snap.
Well, listen, they initially had Craig Mazin as a writer on this, and then Eli Roth got his grubby little hands on it, and Craig Mazin was like, "Oh, ooh,
Take my name off of it, he said.
I don't
yeah."
want to be on here anymore.
Maybe,
So, yeah, that's-
maybe this just didn't need to be.
Or that. But there's, as you can see, there's a whole list of the problems that went down with this whole thing. You know, Rebecca cited some of them, and then COVID didn't help, and you know, it was a lot of problems. But
Has COVID helped anything?
This movie was hard to cast. I mean, like, because Borderland fans, like, I'm a huge Borderland fan. I'll tell
Same.
you right now, love me some Borderlands. But when I saw Kevin Hart being cast as Roland, I was like, I didn't even know how to respond to that.
I thought mini Roland?
Yeah, I was just like,
Maybe
Roland
they'll
was
do like a force perspective kind of thing.
right. I was like, Roland was a badass. I'm like, if anything, it should have been like, I don't know. But then Kate Blanchett, like, okay, I'm not mad at it.
And again,
fine.
she's one of those actors that can do, and I say this, anything.
Yeah.
Anything, but she didn't
And-
have to do this.
But she didn't have to. She said she was a fan of the game, and that's why she
Paycheck.
did it. Well, and then there's that. But yeah, a lot of problems with this. But now you can rent it for $20.
So you can wait until they deliver a copy free to
Yeah,
everybody with the
I'm-
stimulus
I feel
package
like-
next year.
I feel like I
Right.
saw it on Amazon for $5.
Oh, really?
This is going to be a 50 milligram, like, this is going to be my 50 milligram hammer slammer. This is like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, just
get in my
kidding.
pajamas and just
mean-
watch it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll watch it when it's on one of my
It's on
streaming
Netflix
services
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's
I'll
on
watch it.
TBS with
what-
commercials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you cast Kevin Hart when Mike Coulter would probably do it
Oh,
for
Mike-
sandwich money?
Yo,
Mike Coulter
Mike
would have
He
been
was
Coulter.
busy.
awesome.
He was busy filming that show, Evil.
Evil.
Evil's amazing. Good show.
great.
But they do get time off.
Yeah.
And like Jamie Lee Curtis, the world's greatest stoner gamer, she did it. So
I
Coulter
mean,
could find the
You
time.
could have done Terry Crews would have been an awesome Roland.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You know, I mean,
There
he
you
looks
go.
more like Brick from the game, but Brick isn't in this movie, so he'd have
Yeah.
been a great Roland.
There you go. All right. Beetlejuice, which
Don't say it a third time.
premiered.
Tony, you haven't even seen the movie.
I saw the first one. I watched it 2 weeks
did.
You
ago.
did- oh,
it
you
was
did?
enjoyable.
You
enjoyed it.
you were off
Okay.
chasing
okay.
waterfalls.
Jeez, don't be such a gatekeeper, Rebecca.
It
Name three
premiered,
Beetlejuices.
It premiered at the Venice Film Festival, and it's getting great reviews. So it may work. It may actually work. And there's just some interesting little facts that I found about the movie. Winona Ryder said that she thought when she saw the handbook for the recently deceased, she thought it was just a prop. But she opened it up. It said someone actually wrote an entire handbook for the recently deceased.
That's cool.
Damn.
So I thought that was cool. But here's something that I didn't realize, and I should have realized, that in the original movie, the title character is only in the movie for 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's not there much.
Yeah, I complained about that when I talked about watching it. I said
Yeah.
it's as bad as Hulk.
Well,
Hulk
you-
doesn't show up for the first hour. Beetlejuice doesn't show up for the first hour.
You said that, and then I ran across this little factoid, and I went, oh, and then they elaborate on that, and Michael Keaton said, we had the same rule on this next one, is that, the
It would
limited...
be overkill.
Yeah. As he put it, he said, we've all seen that failure. Hey, man, those car crashes were really good. Let's give them 50 car crashes. We both knew not to do that. So he says, I'm in the movie 22 minutes, maybe. So there's something
You've
for you.
seen the
not
Hot
mad
Ones
at it.
parody?
Yes, not ones.
Yeah, it's Michael
ones.
Keaton interviewing Beetlejuice.
It's about 90 seconds long, and it's it's great.
He
fire.
also said, talked about how he just enjoys working with Tim Burton, but he apologized, and this was the two of them sitting down for a New York Times interview. He apologized to Tim. He said, I love working with Tim so much, but I don't think that we ever really analyzed why we work pretty well together. We just do. But I did let him down on one movie, and it bugs me to this day. I sucked in Dumbo.
Everybody sucked in Dumbo.
Yo,
that's
that is a hell of a quote.
That is not your fault.
that's one of those. That's like in a college class when every student fails the exam, and then you have to look at the teacher and be like, okay, what did you do?
Yeah.
I sucked in Dumbo. I want that as a shirt.
I sucked in Dumbo.
Have you been I've been watching the interviews that Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and Catherine O'Hara have been doing, and I can't remember if it was Catherine O'Hara or Winona Ryder, but they were talking about Jenna Ortega and how they've been talking about doing a Beetlejuice sequel for a long time, but they just never did it. But what it actually was they were waiting for Jenna Ortega to be born and grow up because she's the missing piece of this movie.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and Winona Ryder also said that in every contract that she has had since Beetlejuice, that she has a thing written in it that she can take time off to do a sequel if it ever comes up.
Because they were
That's
talking
crazy.
Beetlejuice in Love as early as 1991.
Yeah.
And it's just been...
So I thought that was fascinating.
I also love that Tim Burton said he won't be making the third one because if he goes 36 years between movies, he'll be dead.
He'll be
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. Well, I mean,
I mean, Keith Richards. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
That's
Timeless.
different. Which
Timeless.
is...
I don't think he's going to make another 6 years. All those cigarettes that he, I mean,
Yeah.
just the second hand from Helena Bonham Carter will kill him.
well, they're not together
Right.
anymore.
That's what I mean. It's already laid in his chest. It's there,
I never seen Keith Richards perform live.
You're just trying to get us to get you Rolling Stones tickets.
Yeah, good
Dude.
luck, Jay.
I heard about
I
this
never
band.
seen you two live. I will say that. And I do
I'm
want
not
to
getting
see-
you
Neither have
YouTube
I.
tickets.
All right, look. What if
come
I?
on.
I thought we were friends,
Look,
Rebecca.
Listen, I'm over here trying to save my time, energy, and money trying to buy Oasis tickets when the U.S. Oasis tour tickets eventually go on sale.
You gonna
Knock
know
on wood.
Oasis?
Knock
Don't.
on wood.
Good luck.
That they get past the first concert that they
They're
do.
not
I
going
was going to
to.
say, you think they're going to make it actually on this tour?
No, I get in line because I went to dinner with some friends last night, and they're trying to get him as well.
Yeah,
I'm just
they're-
kind of resigned to knowing I'll never get. I was already resigned to knowing I'd never get to see Oasis live, and now my hopes are up, and that's a dangerous thing.
I just remember the immortal words of Roger Waters after the Pink Floyd reunion at Live Aid. He said, it's kind of like hooking up with your ex-wife and then you realize what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's gonna be the Gallagher brothers about halfway into one show, and then Jamie Albarn's gonna show up, and then he's gonna team up with the Gallagher brother that doesn't hate the gorillas, and they'll turn into a mecha and kill the stupid one.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
I can see that.
Let's see. We got the new Jurassic World Dominion. It's called.
Oh, isn't it? It's Rebirth.
Is it?
Dominion is the one that came out in
Dominion was the last
2022.
one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Guys
right. Okay.
summoning a
Sorry
demon
to
dinosaur.
unactually you on Jurassic Park movies.
No. You're absolutely
Is that
right.
Or there's so many
Wow.
devil dinosaur. So it's a Marvel
Mahershala
crossover.
Ali.
That
Yeah,
is
that's-
Mahershala Ali in
Yeah.
his first role since winning an Oscar, and then calling Kevin Feige to say, "Hey, can I be Blade?" And Kevin Feige going, "Yes, absolutely," and then nothing ever happening there. This is his first movie.
There's
since
only
then.
one blade.
Ugh.
Well, here's the plot. 5 years after the events of the previous movie Dominion, the planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Now, see, right away I'm disappointed. I wanted dinosaurs in the cities. I wanted the Flintstones, I think, is what I was looking for.
I wanted them to have jobs
Yes, exactly.
and like going to work.
I
wanted
wanted them.
them to
It's
look
a
into the
living.
camera and go, "It's a living."
It's a living. Those
A living.
Those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the ones that they had once thrived. The three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind.
Enough. Enough.
They don't have opposable thumbs. How are they holding a key?
Exactly.
Look at
Oh
it.
my God, they're turning it into the X-Men Krakoan era.
I think
Carl,
I think they just need to rebrand. Like we've got two other dinosaur periods that we completely have not explored: Triassic and
The High Republic.
I think they need to
The first
rebrand it
order.
as Jurassic Park, a coffee shop run completely by dinosaurs.
There you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And-
Give me 8 seasons now.
And Carl has challenged us to name 3 dinosaurs.
Stegosaurus,
Allosaurus.
Triceratops.
No. Hey,
Velociraptor.
everyone stand down. I got this.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, let Bird Boy go. He knows.
Everyone knows dinosaurs aren't real.
Neither are
I
birds.
said stand down. Okay. Allosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and let's
Milton
go.
Berle.
Let's just make it a little. Let's keep it basic. Stegosaurus.
I was going to say you were going deep there for a bit.
Did you
Which
know?
which dinosaur is most likely to captain a ship?
Lickalotopus.
Did you know that the spiky tail on a Stegosaurus was named after a Gary Larson Far Side comic?
Shut up.
Was it?
Yeah, for real.
Throg
There
monster?
was
Jay should have.
Thagomizer.
Thagomizer,
There
that's it.
wasn't a name for it, and then Gary Larson wrote a comic where it was cavemen pointing at one saying that killed Thag last night. It is now known as the Thagomizer. And paleontologists or whoever studies dinosaurs was like, well, we don't have a name for it yet. Let's use this.
Do that.
They're called
Gotta stop
dinosaur
naming
guys.
stuff.
Dinosaur
We gotta stop
Dinosaur
naming
guys.
stuff.
Exactly. As you can see, Scarlett Johansson's there. Mahershala
Oh, I
Ali.
didn't see her behind the grass.
I know, right?
Is she playing a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Is she culture
play anything.
vulturing a dinosaur this time?
Yeah,
Oh.
she's the clever girl in this one.
Come on, now name 3 clever girls.
Oh,
Rebecca Frost,
Rebecca Frost, okay.
Rebecca Frost.
no, wait. Rebecca Frost, Sarah Everett.
Yes, Sarah.
And
that one clever girl from
for
the
a dollar, name a woman.
Katniss Everdeen. She's clever.
You having
gonna
trouble
say
getting that
Kira.
third?
I was going to say Kira Quaylock.
You had to go fictional?
No.
I'm writing
I
down.
just did.
I'm writing down name 3 women for the title of the episode.
Name 3 women. Go.
I was
For
trying to
a
go with
dollar.
I was
You
trying to get
can't do
women
it.
Who've been on the podcast.
Oh, that's funny. But anyway, yeah, she's there, and it's going to be a thing in July of next year. So
Who's the guy behind her? 'Cause he looks
That
like
is
Sean
Jonathan
William-
Bailey.
yes,
Okay, because he looks like, was it Sean William Scott or whatever his name is?
Yeah. What is?
That's what I thought it was
Stifler?
at first.
What
Yeah.
is he? What have I seen him in?
Jonathan Bailey, that's so funny because I have had the same exact question, Jay, for like the last 6 months.
That makes me happy because I know you're in tune with a lot of cool stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm not.
Well, and that's
makes
the thing
me
is
feel
like
we have
I
this.
try to be like into like knowledgeable about this. Okay, so Bridgerton,
Oh
Broadchurch.
yeah, he's Bridgerton.
okay,
He's in the upcoming Wicked movie.
Is he in Rush?
yeah, he is. He was the
He
drummer.
was
Yeah,
the
he's
fourth
the
member.
drummer.
Yeah,
He's the guy that cups Giddy Lee so we can hit the high notes.
Oh, okay.
This guy, he was a voice in the video game Anthem.
Oh, wow.
Womp womp.
The Young Messiah.
That
There
game
you
was
go.
terrible.
Anyway, Marvel celebrating their 85th anniversary.
Did you watch that trailer?
I did.
Oh,
It was really interesting because it also, I mean, besides celebrating 85 years of Marvel Comics, but it also gave us some quick looks at, let's see,
Stuff and things. Stuff and things.
Thunderbolts. We got a quick look at Thunderbolts there.
Ironheart.
And a pretty good look at
Ironheart.
good look at Ironheart, and a pretty good look at Harrison Ford's Red Hulk.
It looked just like him.
Yeah, looked like Harrison Ford.
He was asking for a shawl.
Harrison Ford, if you got stung
Callista.
by a bee.
We got a quick look at Daredevil in Born Again. We got, so it was just a whole bunch of little, choppy kind of scenes and all that, but it's kind of cool. But it's just so wild to think 85 years of Marvel Comics.
Carl Clark has a question about, can Sony, for their birthday, can Sony give them back the Spider-Man IP?
No,
So
then Sony will run out of money.
I've looked at the numbers on this. Disney does not have enough money at all to buy that property. Looking at what Disney's financials are and Sony's financials, even with Sony's problems, Disney doesn't have enough to buy that property.
Well, but here's the thing: is that Tom Holland has said that he's not interested in doing a Spider-Man movie with Sony alone. He wants it to be a Marvel movie.
Well, hopefully he can be the guiding force to get them to at least do another co-op movie.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be in Avengers. Yeah,
You got to think about that. The co-op style with them is the way to go for Marvel because they don't have to foot nearly as much of the bill, but they still get to collect big money.
They have the creative control. That was
and they have creative. So,
Tom Holland's thing is that he wants the Marvel people behind it. Sony will pay for it and make the money, but he wants the Marvel people behind it.
Yep.
Do you ever wonder if we actually did create time travel technology instead of Skynet and Terminators? We go back in time and convince Carol Coe and James Cameron not to buy the rights to Spider-Man from Marvel when it was hemorrhaging money,
or to tell Stan Lee to not do this.
Stan, it'll all be okay. Don't give away the babies.
Can we get a GoFundMe for Stan, a retroactive one?
Yeah.
That way.
Here's some future money, Stan.
You would, if you had a time machine, that's the first thing you would do?
Well, on my way back from killing baby Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would keep Nicole Brown Simpson alive.
Interesting.
Very specific.
Good choice
Listen,
too.
Very specific.
Listen. The OJ trial is responsible for a lot of the way we consume our television.
You're not wrong.
Responsible for a lot of reality TV didn't pop off till court TV got a hold of the OJ trial.
No,
You're not
absolutely
wrong.
right.
And we got Kanye out of that. We got Ray J out of that. We got the Kardashians. We got so much creativity that stemmed from OJ's whatever happened.
Interesting.
Oh.
I'd watch your PowerPoint.
Listen, we've had her on the show before. JL Gribble, shout out to JL Gribble. She runs a great panel at PanX for about writing sci-fi and writing Nexus points.
Mm-hmm. She's awesome.
We've had her. She's got a new book. Actually, people go check out JLGribble. Go to her website. But we've had this conversation. I've said this many times. If I could go back in time and stop some shit, I would definitely play around with the outcome of the OJ trial.
Jay, I think I agree with you, but that would also mean that my late mother would have never had something to watch that entire summer. She was off between school years.
Yeah. I was staying with my aunt in Burbank, and all she was watching was Webster and Golden Girls reruns, so I was really, really excited and devastated to see something new on the TV.
What would it do for the sales of the Bronco?
Ooh.
We have a new Bronco now.
I was going to say,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got I'm not saying.
How many more Naked Gun movies? How many more Naked Gun movies would there be?
We would have got
Capricorn
at least 4.
2 could have been filmed.
Interesting. Oh.
Hertz rental car would have still been, isotoner.
No, because he couldn't
Hertz
go running
is
through the
still
airports.
around.
Jay, if he goes running through the airports, what happens at this point? Because we still have 9/11 at this point. Brother cannot go running through the airport like that.
Well, he could stop that too. He could do more than one
maybe
thing.
Maybe the OJ trial.
You'd have to have access to U.S. government buildings.
Oh, so what kind of time machine are we
inside
talking?
job, et cetera, et cetera.
Are we talking Terminator, where you show up naked? Because you're not stopping much of anything until you get some clothes.
Hot tub where you're almost naked.
I will tell you right now, it doesn't matter what type of time machine I have, I'm showing up naked. That's just my preference.
Yeah, that's
okay?
true. Or like a Madam.
I'm going to go, Jay. I'm going to counter that with the line from NBC's failed time machine show, Timeless. There is no point in history that is safe for me as a black man to go back in time.
Boom.
I mean, true. We could go
August
back maybe
30th,
like
2024.
That's forward.
We could go back maybe like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All right. Happy 85th anniversary to Marvel. All right.
What did we derail a conversation? It's so unlike us.
A little bit of a
No,
tangent
I'm
there.
I'm on one today.
I enjoyed it though, and it's true. That is a Jay thing, just to show up naked. Anyway,
Thank you.
That's how I met him.
exactly.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Did anyone enjoy Dead Boy Detectives?
I liked it. It was all right.
Well, hope you enjoyed it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
It's not coming back.
No,
Is this H&M ad?
Who
I
could have
was-
possibly predicted?
yeah, I was gonna say. After
We
it
all
got
did.
done, I was like, second season would be nice, but I doubt we're getting one.
I mean, when it premiered, it did okay.
Yeah.
But for
It
they're not going to renew it. So
they're for one not that big of characters even in the DC lexicon to warrant much. They're fun, but there are also people who aren't watching because of Neil Gaiman's creation of the characters. So it's a shame. It was a cute show. It was not a great show.
So that now raises a question, Lee. That's a good point. What do you think is going to happen with the Sandman season 2 viewership?
I know too many middle-aged or too many goth people my age that are going to watch it ride or die. They don't care.
that's true.
That's the OG property. That's what informs so much of their identity politics, and they're not going to budge from it. And
That's true.
They're also the first ones that'll start sharing articles that debunk the allegations against Gaiman, to which I say, I'm retired from all this shit now. So,
It was nice to never be a fan.
Yes.
and I was for a long time. And if this stuff is true, then that's terrible
That's the
and
thing.
horrible and awful.
How do we ever know if it was true or if it wasn't?
Well, and also, again, it comes down to, Roman Polanski made some fantastic movies. He's a shitty person. We should hate him.
No doubt.
He
Yeah.
made some really good movies. So that's not going to stop me enjoying Sandman. As opposed to J.K. Rowling, we gave away all the Harry Potter books that the kids had when they were little because we got trans kids. We can't support a transphobes.
The black mold in her house calling to her like a green goblin mask.
Pretty easy to draw a line between the two things with her, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's actively looking for a brainworm.
Yes.
Eat part of her brain, like RFK Jr.
What's left of it?
Yeah.
By the way, because I see in the chat room Bell Riots, they want to talk about the Bell Riot. We will. We'll probably get to that in the after party. The way that we're going, we'll get to the Bell Riots in the after party.
I got educated about misusing a word, and I appreciate it.
Oh, we'll
because
get to
of the
that.
Bell Rats. Yeah.
Yeah. As you may have noticed, I wasn't here last week.
I did notice. You're right.
I went and got my vitamin D. I was mourning in my own way, and went down and spent a couple of days at Disneyland, and some interesting things. Interesting things.
How woke is it?
Well, it's not. That's just it. I have a story here that is
Is there a woke Fortune 500 company?
Here's the thing. I never thought I'd see Deadpool at Disneyland.
That shit still blows my mind.
But it's happening, all right? Now, let me back up a bit. The wrongful death lawsuit that happened a few weeks ago.
That's what we're
Shit's
talking
insane.
about. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get to that. Yeah. The wrongful death lawsuit, it was a woman at Disney Springs, which is like their downtown Disney in Florida. And she was allergic to shrimp, and they accidentally served her some shrimp, and she died, right? Well, she's also a member of Disney Plus. She'd signed up for the Disney Plus. Now, in the fine print of your I agree to the terms and conditions, one of the things that they put in there is I agree not to sue the company. I agree to handle all discrepancies in arbitration. They tried to apply this, and they could have legally apply this to this woman's death.
Ghouls.
Exactly.
Soulless
Can you believe
ghouls.
That's
So-
not something a woke company would do.
Exactly. So the bad publicity hit, and they've agreed. All right, yeah, we'll let it go to trial.
Okay.
Someone noticed that we were doing this. We'll stop.
Exactly.
So,
We'll stop being publicly evil.
So now I tell you that story to tell you this one, because in California Adventure there is as you can see if you're watching us on YouTube, at California Adventure there is story time with Deadpool. And so there's a guy as Deadpool, there's a guy as Wolverine, and Deadpool reads a story.
Ruh-roh.
Well, here's what happened. the Deadpool actor regaled the audience to the tale of Cinderpool, right? During the dramatic story, Deadpool joked about Cinderpool being late because he had to read every single page in the terms and conditions when he signed up for Disney Plus.
Wow.
Boo.
Wait.
Jeez.
Wolverine says, I don't get that reference, to which Deadpool points at the crowd and says, oh, they do.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Yikes.
Does this guy think he's Ryan Reynolds under that mask? I mean,
I don't think
Do
he
you
wrote
think-
that.
Well, I'm also wondering if they are like, who is the most annoying cast member that we have?
put him in the suit.
To put him in this Deadpool suit and let him live his dream of being the most annoying person in the world.
Apparently,
I have a question of
Yeah.
is Disney in on it? Because I don't think they're going to let him just like ad lib like this and let him just do that freely.
here's
Like stormtroopers have keyed commands to their motions.
yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is like a pre-scripted thing.
This is a pre-scripted thing. This was written for him, and so that meant Disney knew what they were doing.
Oh, no.
And the only time the characters are allowed to ad lib, and they're very cautious about it. Like I had an interaction with Loki at California Adventure, and we were just talking about Rocket Raccoon. And yes, my brother loves that rabbit, you know. So he was doing a little ad libbing. I showed him my Avengers tattoo, and he goes, "Well, maybe someday it'll say the letter L instead of the letter A." You know, I mean, that was the amount of ad libbing he was
I would have proposed on the spot.
going to do. But this is a scripted event. This is mic'd and written. So
No.
call it what you will. I kind of give them kudos for making. I mean, yeah, a woman's dead, but they're making fun of themselves. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fine line.
it's an
you know?
uncomfortable situation. But anyway,
That's what good comedy does.
exactly,
It's a story that can be spun any direction.
exactly.
And Jerry Seinfeld says you can't be funny anymore.
I mean, he knows.
I mean, maybe
how
Jerry
funny
Seinfeld can't be
works,
funny
right?
anymore.
Yeah, I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and here are some of the new things that are coming to the Disney parks.
Teacups?
That
New
looks
teacup. Yeah, they're
Jinxed.
Yeah. The Villains Land, they're going to be building in Orlando. Massive land dedicated just to villains. Interesting. In the Hollywood Studios in Orlando, they're going to build the Monsters, Inc. roller coaster and land. The coaster is based on the finale of the first movie, you know, where you ride the doors.
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing that.
Perfect.
In Disneyland Paris, a Lion King log flume. Okay. In Orlando, they have an Avatar land, but now they're building another one near California Adventure, and it'll have a new ride. And it's in the entryway where all the buses and everything come up. They're going to take that all out. So I don't know, where you're going to
Is
be
that
able
in
to
a
get
parking lot? That looks like a parking lot in the back.
It kind of is, yeah.
That's where you park your old people.
Yeah.
get-
Era
This is
under the-
Disneyland opening day in 1955.
Say
Yeah.
this
That's what I was about to say. I'm like,
old
why
picture.
does this
Hey, my mom was there.
Oh,
Whoa,
my dad
nice.
was there.
Are you
let's
guys
see.
siblings?
Maybe.
My mom was 6.
No, my dad was in the army, so no.
Your army was at Disneyland?
They were invited. He was stationed in that dangerous Hollywood, California area for Korea. That's where he saw action. So, anyway,
A
more
lot of people saw action in Hollywood during the Korean War.
Exactly. More Cars rides coming to Magic Kingdom, and a new Indiana Jones and Encanto. They're removing Dino Land and Animal Kingdom down in Orlando, and they're going to put
Encanto is just a house tour.
It's the Madrigal House in Encanto. They're building it.
If it's more work for Diana Guerrera, I'm happy for
Exactly.
There's a man in the walls.
Yes, and a new indie ride there. The first Coco ride will be at California Adventure, and it will take you to the Land of the Dead.
Oh,
That if you
That's
did
gonna be
Coco,
cool.
if you did Coco like soaring over California,
Oh,
I think that would be really fun.
That would be fun. Okay. And then this one, which I don't know if it's a good idea or not. The Disney family has signed off on this. They're going to
Wait, the Disney family still has
They still have. Well, when it comes
sway
to
Walt Disney's
stuff like
cryogenic
this?
adventure.
well, you're close. You know where Mr. Lincoln is on Main Street in Anaheim?
Mm-hmm.
They're
When
going
he's there.
Yeah, when he's there. They're going to take that out, and it's going to be great moments with Walt Disney, an animatronic Disney.
This sounds
Just
terrible.
as he
It's
always
actually just his
dreamed.
cryo-frozen corpse.
That could get really creepy, though.
Oh, it's definitely
Or it's just his head in the
creepy.
You know, and Disney never said anything problematic about unions or people of color
or Jews, yeah.
yeah, no, never. Oh, yeah, complete and total supporter of.
So it'll be
of,
it'll
Jewish people.
be the Walt Disney Union Buster attraction. It'll be great.
Yeah. And animatronic
possibly
Walt
go
Disney,
wrong?
is it just him reacting
Walt,
like, this isn't the
Walt
vision
Disney
I hoped for?
Nazi experience.
Yeah.
And then they're going to update the Millennium Falcon ride with
Diversity.
with Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah.
That's enough. That's
if-
enough. I'm
what if
tired
you
of this little green
accidentally-
bastard.
What if you accidentally hit him?
Let me tell you something. My nieces, they went with me for a few hours on Sunday when I was there, and the 8-year-old, who is very much into the Acolyte and Ahsoka, that's what got her into it. She made me go on Star Tours 3 times, and she had never seen the Mandalorian and Grogu variant part.
Threaten me with a good time.
Exactly. And oh no, don't take me again. Oh, I get to ride Rosario Dawson again. Oh,
What now,
Whoa,
sorry.
wow.
Anyway,
Whoa,
For
whoa.
$1, name a woman.
sorry. Attraction.
Wow.
Attraction.
Carrie Robinette Jackson.
All right. But the Mandalorian and Grogu part comes, and it's because it's a 3D film thing, and the little frog that Grogu eats was tumbling toward you, like right toward the audience.
So you could eat it.
And she was just laughing and giggling and reaching out, trying to get the frog and having a good time. And I just wanted to turn around and say, all you haters who got the Acolyte canceled, here she is, all right? Anyway.
Did you bottle that feeling and bring it back with you?
We're going to talk about that coming up. Yes.
So Carrie,
Yes.
Percival, did you guys went on Star Tours 3 times? Mm-hmm. And you always insist on riding in the back, where the true legends ride. So
Yeah.
how does your niece feel about having a bad back now?
I didn't have that problem, actually. But
It's like,
And-
I'm a preteen, but my back is a 60-year-old's.
And here's the thing. When you're with kids, they make you sit in the front rows. They don't.
Oh, yeah, you got to sit in
Losers.
the front.
So,
man.
I'm an adult who loves to sit in the front row.
yeah.
Well, you sit in the back so you can screw up your back.
Well, and she loves Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and I said, "Let's sit in the back." And she goes, "No, I don't want to sit in the back. I want to sit up front." And I'm like, "No, but it's great in the." And I tried to explain centrifugal force to her, but she's 8, so
Listen up. It's time for science.
Wait. All right.
I just like to
corner.
sit. I like to sit anywhere I can fit, personally.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Is it better to sit in the back on most rides or in the front?
On roller coasters,
on
yeah,
roller coasters, yeah, because you got
And
the
and on
tail
Star
whip
Tours.
action.
because it's a flight simulator. For some reason, the back gets thrown more.
Yeah, the middle's like the sweet spot. Like you'll get all the experience of getting thrown around a little bit. The back it's just a smidge rough.
Another couple of things that are coming to Anaheim. Well, one, they're adding on to the Avengers campus down there. 2 new Spider-Man rides and 4 brand new Marvel attractions will be added. The Stark Flight Lab there's the picture on our YouTube channel. First ride announced at the event. Robert Downey Jr. will be voicing it himself. He'll be there as Tony Stark.
This better be
That's
included
enough.
in that. But the cost of that better be included in his
his
Dr.
95
Doom
milli.
Is this
paycheck.
the part of the Avengers campus tuition? Jesus.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, I wonder if it's part of the 40 mil that he's getting for these 2 Avengers movies. I doubt it is, because as we know, we've had friends who worked at the park who were working on an Iron Man attraction, and they wanted RDJ to do the voice work for it. They called his agent, and he was informed, Mr. Downey Jr., even for 10 minutes of standing in a booth and reading lines, he doesn't get out of bed for less than $1 million. So get paid up, Robert. Get paid. That's all I can
back
say.
in November, I said I wasn't getting out of bed for less than $1 million, and the bastards kept me there for 2 months. Also, I hate to see it, but just from the art alone, I can tell that the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action laws has even affected Avengers Campus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
The other
Wow.
ride is Avengers
Damn,
Avengers Infinity Defense, where you will travel across time and space. You'll visit Wakanda, Asgard, and New York City and battle King Thanos.
Wow, the mysterious New York City.
I know, right?
New York
That's crazy.
City.
There's so many
But-
other cities, and like we could only think of that one. Damn.
I buy my
that's
salsa
crazy.
from New York City.
But maybe
Get a rope.
it's this New York of 1978.
Shanghai.
Oh, that's not much better.
Shanghai
Yo.
Disney is getting a Spider-Man roller coaster. Hong Kong Disney is getting a Spider-Man drop ride. And yeah, Downey's voice is going to be on a couple more. So good luck. Cash in.
I hope the New York City has like a disgruntled like New Yorker that's like, come on, I'm walking here,
You got to.
and don't mess with New York because we're
Gotta have
from
that.
New York.
Hey,
while
don't mess with Spider-Man.
while I was down there, I had planned on buying a lot of shit. I wound up buying one thing. And you want to
Another
see what it
lightsaber.
is?
Yeah.
Here's my bag.
Hang on, let me
This is my travel bag.
put you to the front here.
I saw in the park a Daredevil pin.
Ooh.
And it was the only bit of Daredevil merchandise that I found in the park.
There we go.
And so I thought, and it was right next to a She-Hulk pin. I thought, I have to pick that.
Maybe you couldn't see it. Maybe you could only sense it. Think about that.
Hey yo.
So I'm gonna take a still shot of that pin, and I'm gonna draw him sitting in the bathroom on the toilet,
Yes.
and just the look on his face alone in that pose. It's gonna say everything.
All right. Let's get to Fandom is exhausting. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, by the way, Carrie, you owe Robert Downey Jr. $20 million.
I do? Oh, good.
Yeah, we used his likeness.
Using his likeness. I know you did an acolyte rant while I was gone, and I appreciate that, but there's more.
It was described as soapboxing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sorry.
Well, I'm not either. Like I said, my 8-year-old niece got into Star Wars because of it. So, but Amanda Stenberg, who plays the dual roles on the show, Osha and May, she was on her Instagram, and she did. It was like a good 10-minute. I won't call it a rant because it was more like just sitting and talking. And she said, I'm going to be really transparent and say it's not a huge shock for me that the show was canceled. I live in a bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there's been a rampage of vitriol that we faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept. No one had even seen it. That's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. So yeah, go and watch this on her Instagram. She says, it brought up a lot for me, a lot of social, political dynamics, a lot about my own value system and how I respond to that kind of hatred, how I move through the world at large. And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal, even within the context of working for Disney, working within the large Edify camp and the large, massive IP that is Star Wars. It's not lost on me the way that these events have unfolded. It's also due to the hyper-divisiveness of the time that we live in. That is driven, I would say, at this point by echo chambers of thought and algorithms that reinforce our biases. And I think that applies to everybody, but I think that in particular, a sect of people, it manifests a lot of fear for what is changing, a lot of hatred for anything that is other.
So what YouTube channel did you steal that incredible, awful thumbnail from?
I wish I knew. I just got it from Google Images because I was not about to give anybody a single click.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
Very, very
Like
smart.
even using that picture made me feel physically ill.
Yeah.
so here's the thing.
And that's why
So
we love
we have
Bruce
two sides of a
Becker.
coin here, though, because we have the hatred that she's getting from one side, and then there's the Carano, Gina Carano, on the other side, with some support from some spheres for hers, both Star Wars. I want to see Osha versus Cara Dune, grudge match, fight it out, just be done with it.
Another little bit of fan vitriol that popped up this week that you may not be aware of is the BBC is responding to complaints of a Doctor Who episode.
Rogue. That was a great episode.
That was a fantastic episode.
Rogue. They got a lot of complaints about the kiss that you see there. The network received missives from 2 whole viewers.
Oh my god!
Damn,
An avalanche.
Damn.
Citing inappropriate sexual innuendo and content that was unsuitable for children.
Innuendo.
One person added that one of the complaints is that the speed of the Doctor and Rogue's connection was concerning. The episode runtime is just under 45 minutes. That was just too short a time.
I'm so sorry to make this generalization, but have you ever met a gay person?
And I'm sorry, in Chirigawa, I think anybody here wouldn't last more than 30 seconds without wanting to kiss the dude. He's stunning. He's charismatic. I mean,
Another thing that's funny about this is not the first time that there was a gay kiss in Doctor Who. I mean,
I was going to say, I don't think this was...
No, Jack Harkness.
It's an interracial gay kiss, so the internet got mad.
Is that why it is?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Princess Leia kissed her own brother sooner after meeting him than these two kissed.
It's okay, they were white.
Well, yeah, and I think Jay's got a point, because in 2005, Jack Harkness kissed the 9th Doctor.
Yep.
And it was the first same-sex kiss with any
I'm
real
sure
emotion.
if the internet had been a little bit stupider and toxic than it is now, I'm sure there are message boards all over 2005 that hated that kiss.
So what about 1967 with Kirk and Uhura?
Oh, yeah. You should have seen the message boards in 1967.
Just saying.
Yeah.
America Online was crazy back in 1967.
You mean the cork boards at the supermarket?
Yeah.
With posted notes on there?
Ask Jeeves was lousy with, how stop Kirk and Uhura kiss?
Yeah, Ask Jeeves was crazy because my actual butler was getting inundated with written letters.
Poor Jeeves.
But then the other shit talk that was
New Yorkers
happening
were mad.
was the director of the original Crow movie was talking shit about the new one.
Okay, but actually, though...
Well... Hang on.
I kind of think that's okay.
Well,
I just want to thank The Crow for taking the Stinker of the Year award away from Borderlands. And
away from Madam Web. Don't forget, Madam Web came out this year.
Yep. So thank you, The Crow.
That's a good coat. It's made of birds.
Wait, so this is out now?
Birds.
Yeah, it's out now.
Oh, it was out a week ago.
I love this because it looks like a CW show.
It was Jay.
Absolutely, it does.
It took $50 million to make the movie, and it made 4.6 at the box office on its opening weekend.
It's like JD Vance's polls. It's actually lost. It's at minus 17 million in the box office.
But here's what Alex Proyas
Whatever makes
said.
sense.
Here's what Alex Proyas said about that. It's just a simple little sentence. I just love this. I thought the remake was a cynical cash grab. Not much cash to grab at, it seems.
Boom!
Oh, wow. I'd call him a dick, but that was funny.
Yeah.
I mean...
Fandom is exhausting. Final story, and then we'll find out what you guys consumed. Who wants a Broadway play about a guy who bought the rights to a comic book character?
Hi, I'm right here.
Is that you?
There, we do have
Yes.
one. We do
Is this
have
a
one.
musical? Extra points if it's a musical.
It does not say.
That's okay.
Michael Uslan, who worked at DC for a while and was there when Warner Brothers said, we're not interested in the movie rights to Batman, was smart enough to go, I'll take
I'll
them.
take them.
And so anytime you see Batman on film, his name is in the production credit. He gets a taste of the whole thing because he owns the rights to Batman on film.
Oh, he still owns them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He wrote a book about buying the rights to a comic book character. I don't even think Batman's going to be in the goddamn play.
Probably not.
But it's Dan Folger, as you can see there. He's going to be playing Michael Uslan in The Boy Who Called Batman a Play.
I feel like this is an Instagram reel, not a full length play.
No.
You are correct.
You guys,
Oh, wait a minute,
they can make so many good plays out of anything.
The synopsis of this.
Yeah.
Based on the executive producer of the Batman films, Michael Uslan's memoir of the same title, The Boy Who Loved Batman, is an inspirational comedy about one man's vision that became a national phenomenon.
What?
Phenomenon.
Quote,
Get out of
unquote.
here. Ba-da-ba-da.
It's a crazy journey that goes from New Jersey to Hollywood, comic books to the silver screen. Every hero needs a hero.
It's about a guy who bought the rights to a comic book character.
Yo. No. Can y'all bring that back up, please?
And I have made more interesting videos out of soil additives.
Exactly.
In a cave.
So,
Can we bring that screen up just one more time? Because I need to point out something. This told me everything I need to know. Starring Dan Fogler and written in Comic Sans. That tells you everything you need to know.
Well, I mean, it's
Pay
appropriate
attention
for a
to the
comic book
font.
character.
There you go. All right, what did we consume this week? Who wants to go first?
I've only got 2. I'll go quick.
Go,
I just watch a lot of the same stuff I've been watching, but new things. We watched. Where'd it go? Oh, this new, not new, I guess, but it's a kind of a mini documentary, segmenty show on Prime called Discontinued.
Oh.
And it is hosted by Mr. Bruce Campbell, and he hosts this show that talks about things that were popular before, like, the internet got super popular, kind of a thing. So
I remember that time.
it's very much similar to like VHS. I love the 80s. VH1, sorry. Or I love the 90s, but it doesn't really pigeonhole itself into a certain decade for each episode. It kind of just jumps around. And he does a good job hosting it. I mean, it's Bruce Campbell. I like watching him. And then the stuff they talk about was pretty interesting. Like they've talked about Furbies, BlackBerry, all kinds of just.
I'd
Anyway,
watch that.
it's
Sure.
kind of fun. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Give it a look. And
All right.
then my wife and I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for the first time.
Really?
Lies.
I put this for my review. Typical Tarantino, 4 out of 5. Like,
Yep.
that's
Margot Robbie's feet are right there.
Oh man, there's so many feet shots in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, he's not hiding it anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I just
Forever.
seriously.
Well,
but
and as a radio nerd, it was neat to hear all those recordings of the old KHJ in Los Angeles.
yeah, I mean, I like Tarantino's style in movie making, so I had a good time with it. And it was one of those ones where everything's pretty chill for most of the movie, and then in the last like 10 minutes everything goes to hell.
Yeah.
And
And it like Inglourious Bastards. I had
Yeah.
the same reaction when they got Hitler in Inglourious Bastards. Like, oh my god, we got him, and then had to remind, like,
it's
this
fake.
is a fiction.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Who's next?
I'll go very quickly.
Okay, Lee.
I promise. Finish Ripley on Netflix. I still maintain it's the best adaptation of the Talented Mr. Ripley book. And if you're a fan of black and white, noir, stories where the bad guy is actually cooler and smarter than everybody else, this is the story of a guy learning how to be cooler and smarter than everybody else as a bad guy. And if you like Italy in 1958,
Oh, I do.
Oh, my favorite time.
yeah, favorite time to be in Italy was for me 1958. So that was
hate-
fantastic.
1958.
Yeah.
Bad
My-
year.
Started watching more My Hero Academia after having to need a week and a half palate cleanser after a particularly grim episode. It was grim. Like I had to warn Robert that episode was coming.
Thank you for
So,
that.
Yeah, because jeez.
The kids.
Yeah. The new season of Rings of Power started, and of
Is
course,
it good?
Well, I love that show.
I've heard the second
I'm
season's
enjoying
better than the first season.
The
is what
first
I've
season
heard.
was phenomenal to me because it was made for me and only me. Mm-hmm. And
It was made for me too, Lee.
It was made, yeah.
I liked it. We just got caught up in other stuff and never finished it. So
The cold open of the first episode is Sauron in the past getting ganked by a bunch of orcs
nice.
and then rebuilding his body.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Is it that
disgusting
big
as
eye?
hell. No, it's a bunch of worms eating everything. So
It's cool.
pretty gross. Of course, because the seasons are changing every quarter, we watch Arrested Development.
Oh,
Nice.
The whole thing?
Yes, the
Nice.
show
It's
is too
it's
funny.
so fast to get through.
That's
It
true.
goes
Yeah, it
by so
doesn't take
fast.
much time. Finally realized that is not a show that you can just passively watch. You do have to watch it because I never caught the episode where Buster and Anyang are in a fist fight in the background for like
Yeah.
6 minutes. And On Young's kicking Buster's ass the entire time. He's like, yeah. We also remembered that we forgot to watch season 3 of Doom Patrol. And hence season 4 of Doom Patrol. So Michelle Gomez is amazing, and her Madame Rouge is fantastic. But the sole reason for me to watch it is Mala, because he is in this season a lot, and he is so upset and disgruntled. There's a whole bit where he's making tea and so pissed at Madame Rouge that he's like grunting like a pissy old housewife in the background, and I love it. So, and the newest Pathfinder Adventure Edition module came out. That's called Curtain Call. And what's fantastic about this is instead of doing your typical dungeon delve, this adventure is you're investigating a murder at an opera.
Okay.
So it's not your typical sword and sorcery stuff, even though it's in a sword and sorcery world. So really, really cool, interesting twists and turns, and makes you use your brain a little bit more.
I like it.
So highly recommend it.
All right, Jay.
All right. So I was on the ship for pretty much the last 3 weeks, and so didn't have necessarily access to much, but I managed to finally. They had a great movie channel. They had 3 different movie channels. I saw the Hunger Games prequel.
Good.
I saw it.
It's all right. Like
It was a lot of movement.
Yeah.
And there was colors. Yep.
Yep.
it's fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
fine.
I finally was. I saw Ant-Man Quantumania a long time ago, but I was going through a lot of shit in my life at the time, so I just didn't really enjoy the movie. I watched it again, still didn't really enjoy this movie.
I hope you still didn't enjoy it.
Like I was like, oh, because I was, you know how you
Turns
just
out it's
watch
just
a
not
movie?
very good.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, but I still
liked
think
it fine. I liked it fine.
I liked it fine, but I just didn't enjoy it. I just think, and then just watching it, I do hope Jonathan Majors just gets another shot. That's just me personally, whatever. I did watch the Bob Marley movie.
Oh, good. Was it good?
I thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh, good. Cool.
I've been meaning 3 times.
I've been meaning to.
I watched it 3 times. I was just because it was just on, and I'd be like folding my clothes or getting ready for the day. Let's get together.
So here's a question: do you have a problem with Malcolm X singing Bob Marley?
Yeah, I mean it was.
He played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami, which if you've not
One Night in
seen
Miami,
it,
which is a great movie.
Which is
Watch
good.
that
Yes,
movie.
I saw that.
It's a really good movie, but the guy's got range, and so I was like, it's just a fun movie, and
Cool.
What you call it? I did start Rings of Power. I'm into that so far. I haven't gotten too far with it, but I'm enjoying it. I started Sunny with Rashida Jones, which I'm really enjoying. I think that's really interesting. I'm like,
How many episodes have you watched?
I'm just made it to I just finished the second one, and so but I'm enjoying it. Like there's a lot of stuff that I'm curious.
It's cool. Yeah, I'm about
finished
4.
it.
You finished it?
I'm not going to say anything until you guys watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into that. I think it's cool.
I did manage to finally see Deadpool Wolverine while on the ship through means of. There's some great people on that ship that have a means to procure certain items, and
Well, you were on the high seas.
Yes.
And honestly, it was
International
one of the
waters.
best ways to watch that movie. It was so cool. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a nothing burger of fan service, and you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Every
It's
moment.
great. It's great
Every
to
Yeah,
have
I
stuff
was just
like
like,
that once in a while.
this was a nothing burger, and I have never enjoyed a nothing burger so much.
Yep.
What else? What else did I start? I started I do want. I apologize. I won't be able to make the after party today because I'm on my way to go to a concert. I'm gonna go see the Diggable Planets and the Roots live. That's gonna be fantastic.
Diggable Planets, really?
That's cool.
Yes,
I haven't seen them since like 1989.
Exactly.
They were still around. Wow, that's
And
cool.
I was talking about this last night. How the Rebirth of Slick is that good of an album that they are touring off the strength of that. They're touring off the strength of that in 2024. That album came out, 1992, 1993? So if you've never listened to Diggable Planets, The Rebirth of Slick, please change your life right now and do it. And also, I would like you to go to your nearest ATM. Anybody, you can do this, whether you're listening right now, go to your nearest ATM and withdraw $170. $180 probably just for the fact. but you're going to need a $10 bill to put your hands up. You're going to need a $20 bill to put your hands up. You're going to need a $50 bill to put your hands up. You need a $100 bill to put your hands up. You need $170 to put your hands up and say rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop, who passed away last night. If you don't know who Fat Man Scoop is,
I
he's
read
the
about
dude
that.
who has implored you to, while you're in the club, to put your currency and display it for other strangers to see, and technically put yourself in danger. But he was a party starter. He's been on. If you don't know Fat Man Scoop, you have not danced properly.
I read about that this morning. The stage collapsed, or he collapsed on stage.
Yeah, he collapsed on stage. So R.I.P. to Fat Man Scoop, and that's about it. That's all I got. That's
all right.
Just and listen to the Roots and Diggable Planets, and you know what? Actually, I need everybody to start drinking beet juice in the morning, and and maybe just some coconut water. It's just got great for electrolytes. So take care of yourself. Take care of your skin.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Robert, you want to go next?
Sure. Let's see. My Hero Academia and Lee, I told the girls, you got to stop here one night. And they're like, why? I need to watch this episode without you. They looked at me like, why? I need to see it first. Thank you.
An old veteran of the Dad Wars warned me against this episode.
I appreciate you taking that hit for me. And then I took the hit and was like, oh my God, no, I'm glad that they're not watching this.
Yeah.
And we proceeded with the episode that followed, and things went well, but it's like, holy mother of God, what just happened here? I watched an episode of Voyager, which I haven't watched Voyager since Voyager was on live on the air.
Same.
And I used to refer to it as the Janeway and Barbie Borg show, and hasn't changed.
Threaten me with a good time.
Hasn't changed. But this was an episode that actually tied into the episode of the Space Show that I was not able to make it because of work for Section 31. But Borg, who were separating from the collective, like Hugh.
Oh yes, because we did that on Space Show. Hugh Iborg was the episode.
Iborg, and this was three Borg that found Seven of Nine and were trying to get her to separate them from the collective, and it was actually enjoyable.
I remember that episode. Yeah.
Started watching the new season of Only Murders in the Building.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So good.
We did too.
And
really
I
good.
do love this show. Call me old man, call me whatever. I still love the show. Deal with it.
Yeah.
So didn't watch any movies, but started a new book. And by the way, I apologize that for the next 17 weeks, I'm going to be almost insufferable because it's football season.
Oh.
You have been warned.
What is
I'm
football?
watching it in the background right now, dog.
But I had a book in my library that I've been sitting there gathering dust. So I picked it up and started reading it. Ray Lewis, I Feel Like Going On. Ray Lewis's biography, and it goes back to him as a kid and growing up in a small town in Florida. Not a lot of money, not a lot going on. Not knowing who his father was, but having no relationship with him, and just kind of what it took for him to become who he became in the NFL. So I'm about maybe a sixth of the way through it so far. I just really started it, but I am enjoying it, but I'm also slightly biased. I wholeheartedly admit that. Coming up off the comic book shelves, X-Men number 3, adjectiveless X-Men number 3. Now, I am a Cyclops fan. I apologize for nothing.
Woo, Cyclops team. Woo.
Scott is a great strategist. I mean, he's been training since he was 15 to fight and do everything. However, you don't often get to see him spar verbally with somebody and win. And there was a line out of here where he's talking to a government agent and basically tells him, he's like, he's basically threatening Scott's group of X-Men. He's like, are you threatening me, Summers? Why would I do that? He's like, of course I'm threatening you because, like I said, I'm doing you a favor. And he names Psylocke, Kid Omega, Juggernaut Magic, an assassin, a terrorist, a supervillain, and Ileana's a half demon on a good day, plus Magneto. You want them busy because you want them to be my X-Men and not my Brotherhood. And I'm like, oh, Scott, I love you.
That was good. Yeah.
That is a good line.
Shit.
Power Girl number 12.
Oh.
And this one, a character shows up, Siegfried from the
Siegfried and Roy.
yes, from the Ring Cycle, shows up, who hasn't been seen I don't think since Wonder Woman before this current reboot, which and it's just kind of a fun date story with Power Girl and a guy that I've got to go back and find out where she first met him in this series. But it was just kind of fun because she gets to cut loose a bit. Absolute Power Origins #2, Amanda Waller, The Rise of the Suicide Squad. This is where she gets her idea for the Suicide Squad. They kind of retcon a couple of things, going all the way back to the beginning of the Suicide Squad, saying that she had a hand in their original creation. And, I've loved John Ridley for his writing for a while. Undercover Brother, the Other Side of the DC Universe. And if you haven't read The Other Side of the DC Universe, check out those 6 large format books from the DC, I think it's DC Black series. And then Defiant, because I've got 3 words for you. Miles Edward O'Brien.
Oh, really?
That is all I'm going to say.
The greatest engineer in the history of Starfleet.
Greatest engineer in the history of Starfleet. Also, recommendation for Lee. You were mentioning noir and black and white, and it reminded me there's a movie that came out in 2006 called Renaissance, starring the English dub, has Daniel Craig, Ian Holm, and Romola Garai. It is a futuristic noir, but it is done in stark black and white.
Cool.
It is an animated film that came out of Europe, and then I caught it a few years back, but it is, if you can get past the fact that it is no shading, no real shading, it is literally black and white. Pretty good futuristic noir piece.
Cool. I'll check it out.
There you go.
Rebecca Frost.
Okay, I finally finished Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's a good one.
So stylish, so thrilling. Yeah. I wish I was getting more episodes with Donald Glover and Maya Erskine, but it does not look like it.
They will not confirm or deny, and the executive producers that are not either of them said, you don't know with those two. So I think it's a bait and switch.
I hope so. God, I hope so. I just really loved them so much.
I think you're going to have 2 new Smiths, but those 2 will be showing up.
I take that.
I see. Interesting.
The new season of Solar Opposites, I have watched through like twice now.
I need to start.
Think it's so good ever since Justin Roiland left. I mean, the show was good when he was there, but ever since he left, I think it's gotten better. I started Interview with the Vampire and Preacher, since a lot of AMC shows are now on Netflix. That first episode of Interview with the Vampire, I get it now. I see now why no one shuts up about this show.
It's good.
So good.
It's really good.
It's so unfair to Mayfair Witches, too, because that show's not terrible, but you watch it and you go,
Interview with the Vampire is like really fucking good.
Yeah. And it's even better in the second season, and then, oh God.
And then Preacher, I don't know how I feel about Preacher so far. I'm only on like the 3rd episode.
Do you want to borrow the comics? I can lend you the comics.
No,
I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the comics as well. But anyway.
Comics are a trip.
And then my husband started Chaos, that Netflix show where Jeff Goldblum is Zeus.
Oh, I forgot to mention that.
I told him to start it and let me know what he thinks. And he has stopped after episode 2 and is like, I think you'll like this, so I'll wait to watch this with you.
Oh,
it's really good. The first 2 episodes are fantastic. Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've been to the movies, but last week I decided to watch Terminator for the first time. Terminator was awesome. That was fun.
Wait, the first one?
The first one.
You ain't never seen the first joint?
No.
Wait a minute. You ain't never seen the first Terminator?
No.
You've never seen Led Zeppelin, Jay? Shut up.
Listen, that's a whole different story.
I've never seen Terminator, and I was like, wow, this movie rips. And then I immediately turned around and watched Terminator 2, which I had also never seen. And
in 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems. All stealth bombers are upgraded with Cyberdyne computers, becoming fully unmanned. Afterward, they fly with perfect operational record. The Skynet funding bill is passed. This system goes online August 4th, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th. In a panic, they try to pull the plug.
and yet he didn't watch the anime series that debuted this week.
Yo,
I started it with my wife, and she's like, "I don't care about this," and I said, "Okay, I'll watch it by myself."
There you go.
if we get demonetized for that shit, I'm laughing.
I would die laughing if we got hit for that.
Yo,
but
wait, real quick,
here's
Rebecca.
yeah.
Do you realize how horny that dude? Kyle Reese was horny as shit.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yo, bro, like, yo.
Your son
Well,
sent me back in time to bang you.
yeah. Could you imagine knowing, like, okay, I'm sending him back in time to do my mom. Okay, well, I mean, I need to be made, so I'll send him back.
Can you imagine the card? Can you imagine the card Kyle Reese got for Boss's Day that year?
Oh yeah.
But
Dude was horny.
here's the thing: Terminator 2, is that the greatest movie of all time?
Oh man,
No.
it is. Oh, it is up there. I think it's like top 5 for me. Top 5.
That
You
movie
children.
ripped. That is what all sequels should aspire
ass.
to
That's
be.
right.
That movie
Preach. Yep.
rocked.
It's so good. It's
So
so
freaking
good.
Like
good.
from like so, and it's so fun. Like I knew the twist, air quotes, of Terminator 2. But it was really fun to watch Terminator 1 and then Terminator 2 back to back, having never seen them, and then just the jump in budget to the second one.
Yeah.
And just from the opening credit sequence, that's pure flames and orchestral music. Like
There we go.
I was locked in, and then when that semi
the semi scene in the big ditch.
when the semi blows up and Edward Furlong and Arnold Schwarzenegger are riding
look, we're
away
out
on
of
a
time.
motorcycle, I was like, yeah, I was hooting and hollering
Oh, it's so
so
good.
loud in my own house. I was like, yeah,
That's great.
Give me your clothes
And-
and your boots
It
and your
could be
Lee,
my
I
favorite
know-
movie, and I'd never admit it because it makes Tony so crazy.
I know, right?
But Lee, the whole reason I watched these was because of the Caravan of Garbage YouTube videos about Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. And we are not spending enough time talking about how hard Sarah Connor got
Oh, please.
between the two
She got
movies.
jacked.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Like
She's amazing.
Not, like
T2.
not just physically jacked, but like mentally and
As well.
emotionally
Yeah,
jacked
yeah. Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like
Please.
what a turn.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one she takes
David
out
Goggins looks up to her.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a stirring. All
When
right.
she takes out the nurse at the beginning
Yeah.
when she's
Yeah.
escaping. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a reason why Kyle Reese was so happy for that assignment. She was,
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all.
Let's see. I finally saw Quiet Place Day 1.
how was it?
Oh yeah. That
You
that
know-
cat making a lot of noise.
I liked it. I don't know why it caught so much hell. I mean, Lupita Nyong'o, it's just wonderful. I mean,
She's awesome in general.
I'll watch her in
Wonderful in
anything, but
everything.
she's just so good in this. And I quite enjoyed it. I liked the whole concept of, they landed in New York because it's the noisiest place on the planet, and they're just eating people left and right. I just, Anyway.
The thing about those movies is if they are going to keep making them, I do need to know more about these aliens. Like
you learn a little bit more about him in
a teeny tiny bit, but like I'm
drive.
gonna need some more about these guys.
Also, I started rewatching Schitt's Creek.
Oh, that's
Such
a
a good
classic.
show.
Great
Yeah.
show. And then there's on Amazon, I found a documentary because I always love to learn things. But this is stuff I've already known, but it's just a nice stroll through memory lane because my friend Brad and I, when we were in high school, we used to come up to the Blue Mouse Theater, which is a little underground theater.
Oh God, the Blue Mouse.
I know, right? And we would, once a week, we would come up here and we would watch these cult films. And it was just blowing our little farm boy minds every time we came up here. And it's a documentary called The 50 Greatest Cult Films. And so you're getting everything from Pink Flamingos to Eraserhead and, all of these bizarre, awful, wonderful...
My favorite thing about the Blue Mouse is that it was a porn theater during the day.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, in the evening, if you didn't get there at the right time for the art house movies, you'd be dealing with a completely different clientele leaving your little art house theater.
Well,
Hope they clean the seats in between.
No.
If you had a movie like Unbearable Lightness of Being, it didn't matter.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just there was a punk rock documentary that I remember, civilizations in the title. What is it? And it was interesting to see that again.
Oh, that's the Penelope Spheris movie.
Penelope Spheris, yeah. Decline of Western Civilization.
Yep.
It was just, again, all of these cult films that I saw with my friend Brad when we were in high school. And I'm just like, this is what opened our mind to the world. All of these weird things,
Blue Mouse.
Pink flamingos, divine eating poodle shit. Yeah. It's a thing. And it was terrible and amazing at the same time. Go and take a look at it. You'll understand. That's all I got. Let's head over to the after party.
Quick?
Yes.
Really quick question. So I have not seen A Quiet Place Day 1 yet, but you're the noisiest city on the world did raise a flag for me. And I'm like, there's larger cities with many more people. All of them are in Southeast Asia, apparently. Like, New York doesn't even make the top 10 on this list.
Maybe they'll do another one. The movie starts with, the average sound in New York City is 90 decibels, which is equal
tough.
to,
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Yeah, you aliens.
At
Don't mess
119
with Spider-Man,
decibels,
aliens.
Dhaka, Bangladesh has them beat.
Well, maybe they'll do the next one there.
I just wonder if it wouldn't sell to have it. I mean, just because of American Go America, it wouldn't have sold to have it anywhere else. It was just like,
we did learn that the aliens can't swim in this one.
Yeah, but I'm sure they could land on another.
Got it.
Yeah, they drown.
Yeah, it's the Signs aliens.
They drown. They can't swim. Anyway.
That cat went underwater way too many times for my liking.
I agreed. And don't worry, the cat lives. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just going to spoiler, the cat's fine. All right. Anyway, let's head to the after party. Thank you all for being here. It's Geek Show Got This Covered. We're going to go and talk about the Bell riots in the after party.
That's a great one.
GeekShowGotThisCovered.com. Live long and prosper, bitches.